Hey everybody, Void here, and I'm back with another installment of VGen tutorials for artists. Today is part 4, navigating your artist profile. So in order to get to your artist profile from the main VGen page, you just have to click this little hamburger menu and hit the profile button. However, first we're going to be going to the artist dashboard by clicking this white button over here. In your artist dashboard, you have access to basically everything you need for your commissions as well as shop. I won't be going over all of this right now, but I will be going over it in future videos. However, the reason we're here is because of this quests tab, and this quest tab is really important. If you click into the quests tab, you are going to see this personalize your profile, commission grand opening, get verified, and shop grand opening. And this is very important because in order to be able to be searchable, you have to finish everything inside of commission grand opening and the personalize your profile. So I want to make sure that we go over all of those. The commission grand opening will be going over more in depth in future videos, but first let's look at this personalize your profile section. Step 1, update your profile picture and your banner. Now, importantly, if you offer any illustration commissions, please make sure your profile picture and banner only includes illustrations created by you and not by that of a third party, even with credit. The reason for this is because if you offer any type of commission where you do art, your clients may be misled by the profile picture or banner. If they're done by somebody else, they may think that you can do that art. So VGen requires that you do your profile picture and banner. However, if you don't offer any services where you do art, you don't have to adhere to this. You can use art made by somebody else. Next, you have to add a bio, and last, add 2 social links. So with that covered, we are going to head over to the profile, and I'm going to go over each part step by step. All right. On your profile, we've got a lot of fun things. First thing I do want to note is this cute little preview button in the top right corner. If you click on this button, you can preview your profile exactly how it looks to clients. So you can see everything, they can see exactly how they see it. This is really useful for when you're trying to organize things and make sure it all looks how you want. So you can go ahead and use that at any point to make sure that everything looks good. Next, I want to go over this little bubble over here on the top left corner right next to your profile picture. Now, what this bubble is an announcement feature. If you click on it, it pops up this little box, and in here you can type a message of up to 300 characters. This announcement feature is used to give information to potential clients and clients, and it can be anything from, hey, how are you doing? Feel free to message me, to important notifications like, oh, I've had an emergency and commissions are closed right now. Anything that you type in here will show up in that bubble on the top left-hand corner. However, if you check this little checkbox right here that says DM all active commission clients, allowed maximum once every 3 days, what that will do is it will send this same message that you put here also in DMs of anyone that you're actively working with. And this is not just work in progress, this is also just any commissions that have been put in. Not past commissions though, of course. And then you hit publish button here and it'll go up. Just make sure you're not clicking that check mark if you don't want it to go into their DMs and you just want it to show up over here. Next up, we are going to start editing the profile. So if you click this little edit profile button, you will gain access to editing most things on your page. You have, of course, your profile picture and your banner up here. You can click the edit button and it will open up your file so you can upload whatever you want. For your profile picture and banner, you can upload a JPEG, PNG, WebP, or GIF as long as it's under 8 megabytes. And if you're not sure what file size to upload, if you click on this recommended sizes, it will take you to the VGen help page that tells you what sizes you should use. Profile picture should be 1:1 and it's recommended at 250 by 250, and profile banners should be 16 by 9, which is about 1920 by 1080, but just take note that banner crop changes depending on screen size. So if you're looking at on your phone versus PC versus tablet, it's going to look different on each of them. Then you have your username, which is changeable. However, I don't recommend ever changing this unless you absolutely have to for some reason. And the reason why is that every single VGen link that you have ever generated before, anytime anyone has ever copied your link for your profile, your services, anything, all of those links will then be invalid because every single link to anything that has to do with your VGen contains your username. So each service is vgen.co/username and then the rest of the information. So everything will become invalid if you change this. So you'll have to relink everything, but also anyone who had links to your services saved for whatever reason, to your profile, to your shop, etc., all their links will no longer work. So definitely don't recommend changing this. For display name, you can of course change this. It's not going to impact anything to do with your services. However, just for ease of clients finding you, personally, I recommend keeping it the same or similar to your username so that they know who you are. Underneath that is badges. When and if you get verified, your verified badge will always be turned on and it will always be the first one that shows up. And then there are a bunch of other different badges you can get for different reasons. For example, I have badges for being an early bird, for being in both the shop and commission, closed betas, and I have one for attending VGen's first ever stream. Various badges come out every so often that you can get a hold of, like I think there was one for VGen's first anniversary. Next is the bio section, and if you remember, you do have to put something in here in order to complete the profile section, even if you just put in a, hey, I am so-and-so, and this is the type of work that I do, just something to get started. You can always edit it later. Underneath that is work queue, which if you use Trello, that's what a work queue is. It's basically just where clients can see everything that you have queued up and how far along it is. You can turn it off so that clients don't have an option to see the work queue at all, which if you see over here, it has the work queue button. But if we turn off the work queue, it goes away. So they will just know that you don't have a work queue. You can use VGen's work queue, which works very similar to Trello. However, it has the added bonus that your clients know it's accurate because it auto updates as you work on commissions. Also, you don't have to go manually update everything on a separate site. Or you can add an external link here for if you have your own commission queue somewhere else. You can also, if you're using your VGen queue, click the Customize button. In here, you can have a note for your clients. You can check and turn off anything that you don't want to be shown up for clients. So this is showing everything that clients may or may not see. I can turn off something. I don't want them to see the work in progress stuff. I can turn it off. They won't see it. And then you can also turn on and off the display work in progress phases. Now, they will never see this text here, but what they will see is how far along. So for example, if I'm on step 3 over here, it'll say 3 out of however many steps I have. But if you turn that off, it'll just show that people are in the work in progress section and not how far along. And I'm just going to quick show you what that actually looks like over here by clicking on the work queue. this is what the clients see. As you can see, I don't have any unresponded to commissions. I have nothing in waitlist. I have one commission that's in ready but not started yet, and one that's a work in progress, and it's 3 out of 17 for the progress on it. And then you can see right up here is the note that I left. Back in the Edit Profile section, we are now moving on to links. Now, don't forget, you have to have 2 links in here for the Setup Profile quest. You can link to things like a card. You can link to whatever you think is relevant. However, please note that according to VGen's TOS, you cannot direct people to take commissions from you off-site. So you are able to put a Ko-fi link here. However, you can't name it something like commission me on Ko-fi. So when we go to add a link, you can put the name here. You can't say commission me. You can say Ko-fi. You can say donations because VGen doesn't have a donation option. But you just can't be directing people to commission you off-site. If they find you on VGen, the commissions are supposed to happen via VGen. And then under here, we have display local time on profile and in DMs. This is really helpful so clients know what time it is for you and they can determine whether, it's a reasonable hour for you to be awake. It doesn't show your location or time zone name. It just says what time it actively is for you. So for example, for me, it's 5:39 right now. So with these checked on, clients will know that it is 5:39. You can, of course, turn either or both of them off if you don't want people to know that. And then lastly, you can add languages. Here you can put any language you're comfortable taking commissions in. And this just lets clients know whether they need to be using a translation app or not, essentially. And a lot of clients may be most comfortable just taking commissions with people who speaks in their native language. All right, next, now that we've covered all the edits, I'm just going to go over the other parts of the profile. The first tab is your commissions tab, and right here at the top, you have your reviews. It shows your total average reviews and how many reviews you have to get that average. And then it has this breakdown of how many per each star. And underneath it has all of the individual reviews. And if you click on these little drop-down buttons, you can see these highlights, which clients basically, aside from having the ability to type in their own personal review, they have these little buttons that they can click that makes it a lot easier to say things, especially for clients who may not want to actually leave text. Next to that, you have these little buttons, and all of these are going to be the names of the folders that you make for your commissions. And so they just allow you or clients to be able to jump to anywhere on your page by clicking that button, and then they can click this little arrow to go back up. So it's really nice to make folders, not just for your own personal organization, but to allow clients to be able to easily jump through everything on your page. Over here is the shop, which is, of course, your shop page, and everything on here works the same as the commissions tab. Please do note, though, that your commissions reviews and your shop reviews are completely separate. So as you can see, I only have 3 shop reviews here, and I have 102 commission reviews. They're completely separated and don't impact each other whatsoever. Next is your portfolio, which your portfolio, you can either manually add things in here, or when you submit a finished commission, you have the option to add it as a verified showcase, which as you can see has this little green check mark and says commission, which just means it's a verified commission on VGen. Next is the characters tab. Now, this is essentially VGen's character creator. I know a lot of people have historically used Toy House as a character creator. It VGen has a version of that. And so any character that you own or are labeled as a curator for, which other people can basically let you have some control for curating the content for their character page, those will show up here. If you don't want them to show up, you can click this private button. And then, as you can see, if we go to preview, it will no longer be here. And then if I turn it back to public, it's there. Then over here is your saved services, which there is a save button on services, and you can come check this whenever you want. And then there's also liked things, so those will show up here as well. And that is about it for the overview of your portfolio. Next up, we will be covering commissioning openings. So looking forward to that, and I will see you guys next time.